Ambassador Zethkar's 6 eyes blinked in sequence as he studied the primitive bipeds across the conference table. The humans sat rigidly in their crude metal chairs, their single pair of eyes fixed on him with an intensity that made his chitinous shell itch. 3 cycles had passed since the hegemony first made contact with this backwater species, and still they refused to see reason. "The pacification protocols are for your own benefit," Zethkar explained, his translator rendering his. Melodic clicks into the harsh guttural sounds humans called language. "Your species shows concerning tendencies toward violence. The neural inhibitors will simply suppress these destructive impulses." The human delegation's leader, a scarred female called Martinez, leaned forward. "You mean lobotomize us?" Such crude terminology. Zethkar's mandibles clicked in what his species considered polite disagreement. "We prefer behavioral modification. Look around you. 700 species in the hegemony live in perfect harmony. No wars, no conflicts, no suffering. The inhibitors ensure perpetual peace." "Peace through slavery," growled another human, the one they called Thompson. Zethkar's translator struggled with the concept of slavery. The hegemony had eliminated such inefficient systems millennia ago. "You misunderstand. The modified species are not slaves. They are content, happy. They want for nothing, fight over nothing, die for nothing meaningless. They simply exist in blissful productivity." Martinez's eyes, those disturbing, predatory human eyes, narrowed. "And if we refuse? Then we will be forced to implement the protocols by other means." Zethkar gestured to the holographic display showing the massive hegemony fleet surrounding Earth. "Your primitive weapons cannot penetrate our shields. Your nuclear missiles are amusing toys compared to our antimatter arrays. Submit peacefully, and your modification will be painless." The humans exchanged glances, communicating through micro-expressions in that unsettling way their species had evolved. Martinez stood slowly. "Ambassador Zethkar, I want you to understand something about humanity. We've been fighting since we crawled out of caves. We've turned every tool into a weapon, every discovery into ammunition. We split the atom and immediately wondered how big an explosion we could make. We've never known a generation without war, and it has made us very, very good at it." Zethkar's confidence wavered slightly. "But you cannot win. The mathematical certainty—" "Mathematics," Martinez interrupted, "never account for human stubbornness." She pressed a small device, and every screen in the room flickered to life, showing feeds from across Earth. Zethkar watched in growing horror as humans emerged from underground facilities, from hidden bunkers, from places that should have been impossible to construct without detection. "You see, Ambassador, while you've been talking about peace, we've been preparing for war. Every factory, every mine, every research facility, they've all been weaponized. You thought our industrial capacity was primitive? We've been deliberately underreporting our capabilities for 3 years. The displays showed assembly lines that should have been producing consumer goods, instead manufacturing sleek, deadly-looking vessels. Facilities that claimed to mine rare earth elements were revealed to be massive weapons foundries. Research centers supposedly focused on medical advancement unveiled weapons that made Zethkar's chitinous shell crawl. "Impossible," he whispered. "Our surveillance networks were fed exactly what we wanted you to see." Thompson smiled, an expression that sent primitive fear signals racing through Zethkar's nervous system. "Humans lie, Ambassador. We lie very well. It's another thing that makes us dangerous. Martinez activated another display. Every human settlement you've observed, they're decoys. Our real population centers are buried so deep your scanners can't find them. And each one is armed with weapons you've never encountered because we've been building them specifically to kill your ships. Zethkar watched in mounting terror as the displays revealed the true scope of human preparation. Kinetic bombardment, platforms disguised as communication satellites, quantum tunneling devices that could bypass any known shielding, biological weapons designed to target the specific neural pathways that the hegemony's various species relied upon. This is madness. Zethkar clicked frantically. You would risk extinction rather than accept peace? Martinez's scarred face hardened. We would risk extinction rather than accept chains. You offered us a choice between freedom and safety, Ambassador. Humans always choose freedom. The holographic displays shifted to show Earth's hidden defensive. Network powering up. Weapons that shouldn't exist based on human technological assessments began targeting the hegemony fleet. Zethkar realized with dawning horror that every ship in his armada was already locked onto by multiple targeting systems. Your fleet has exactly one chance to leave our system, Martinez said quietly. Any ship that remains in 60 seconds will be destroyed. But the protocols, the peace, can go to hell, Thompson added cheerfully. We'll forge our own destiny, thanks. Zethkar's communicator crackled with panicked reports from his fleet commanders. The weapons targeting them were unlike anything in hegemony databases, energy signatures that defied known physics, delivery systems that seemed to manipulate space-time itself. How? He whispered. Martinez smiled that terrifying human smile again. You spent 700 civilizations teaching them to be peaceful. We spent 3 years learning how to kill gods. The countdown reached 30 seconds. Zethkar watched. His supposedly invincible fleet began emergency retreat procedures, their shields already failing under targeting locks they couldn't break. This isn't over, he managed as his own vessel shuddered under the strain of weapons merely pointing at it. Yes, it is, Martinez replied, because now every species in your hegemony knows the truth. The inhibitors can be overcome. Freedom can be chosen. And somewhere out there, humanity is coming to remind them what it means to be alive. As Zethkar's ship fled with the rest of his broken armada, Earth's hidden weapons tracked them to the edge of the system. The last transmission from the human world was simple and terrifying. Tell the hegemony, humanity remembers how to fight, and we're very good at teaching. Behind them, Earth's true cities began to emerge from their hiding places, and the forges of war burned brighter than ever. The age of human expansion was about to begin, and the galaxy would learn what happened when you offered chains to a species that had spent millennia perfecting the art of breaking them. The hegemony had sought to bring peace to humanity. Instead, humanity would bring war to the galaxy, and for the first time in 7 centuries, enslaved species across the stars began to remember what hope felt like.